This fall isn't just about fashion, it's about a cultural reset. The most anticipated trends of 2025 are not simply what's hanging in stores, they're reflections of psychology, identity, and the way people want to be seen in a world that feels more uncertain than ever. And if you understand these shifts, you'll never look at clothes the same way again. The first major trend is power in subtlety. After years of noise, the strongest statement you can make is quiet confidence. People are craving the kind of style that doesn't scream for attention but commands it anyway. It's not about disappearing, it's about mastering the art of presence without performance. Second, we're seeing the return of refinement. Fashion is moving away from disposable looks to the kind of elegance that feels permanent, grounded, and deeply human. The trend is not in novelty, but in creating an aura of stability and sophistication. That's what people want to buy into this season, security wrapped in beauty. Third, individuality is back in a way that feels real. Not the copy-paste cores invented online, but authentic signatures of personal style. The trend isn't following, it's authoring. This season, people are realizing they don't need to fit into a box. They want to look like themselves, elevated. Fourth, atmosphere dressing is taking over. Clothes are no longer just clothes, they're mood, psychology, energy. The anticipation this fall is about crafting a feeling, warmth, mystery, intellect, allure. People aren't buying fabrics, they're buying emotions. And finally, the most important trend of fall 2025, intentionality. Consumers are tired of randomness. They want to believe that everything they choose has meaning, that what they wear is aligned with who they are becoming. Fashion this season is about depth, not noise, substance, not surface. These aren't just trends, they're transformations. If you understand them, you won't just dress for fall 2025, you'll step into it as someone who owns the season. Because this autumn, people don't want another product. They want identity, authority, and energy they can feel. And that's exactly what these trends deliver. What makes fall 2025 especially electric is the shift from fashion as decoration to fashion as power. The anticipation is not for fleeting visuals, but for the ability of clothing to anchor you in a world that feels constantly in flux. People aren't just asking, what should I wear? They're asking, who do I become when I wear it? One of the strongest undercurrents is the hunger for mystery. This season is about pulling back, revealing less, and allowing intrigue to do the talking. The anticipated trend isn't exposure, it's allure. In an age of oversharing, people are gravitating towards style that feels untouchable, untold, almost sacred. Another defining force is ritual. Dressing is no longer casual or mindless, it's becoming a ceremony again. People are craving the intention of preparing themselves, of turning everyday clothing into armor, into art, into a statement that transforms their mindset before they even leave the house. There's also a deep pull toward cultural richness. Fall 2025 is expected to amplify references to heritage, history, and storytelling. Consumers want more than clothes, they want connection. They want to feel plugged into a larger narrative, whether that's timeless sophistication, intellectual rebellion, or quiet luxury reimagined. And perhaps the most anticipated trend of all is aspiration. Not the empty aspiration of logos, but the kind that makes people want to rise, to grow into the person their wardrobe reflects. This fall, style is being sold as evolution. The idea that what you wear isn't just an outfit, it's a pathway to the life you want. This is why fall 2025 feels different. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about psychology, emotion, and transformation. The most anticipated trends aren't dictating what you put on, they're teaching you how to step into your next chapter with clarity and authority. And that's why people don't just want these trends, they need them. The anticipation this fall is also about rebellion, quiet, calculated rebellion. After years of conformity to digital aesthetics, people are restless. They want freedom from algorithms telling them how to dress. The trend is no longer about being part of the crowd, it's about stepping out of it with conviction. That rejection of sameness is one of the most magnetic shifts of 2025. Another wave building is depth over speed. Consumers are exhausted by the cycle of micro-trends that die before they even take root. The new desire is for weight, for clothing that carries meaning, history, and soul. The most anticipated looks this season aren't about fast novelty, They're about garments that feel like they'll matter in 10 years, not just 10 days. Fall 2025 is also ushering in a demand for presence. In a fragmented world where everyone is distracted, style is being reframed as a tool for commanding attention without asking for it. This season is about aura, the ability to walk into a space and shift the atmosphere by how you carry yourself. Fashion becomes the extension of that energy. And then there's the trend of aspiration turned inward. People aren't just dressing for external approval anymore, they're dressing to align with their own inner vision. The closet becomes a mirror, not of the feed, but of the self. What's anticipated this fall isn't more noise, it's authenticity with polish. What makes all of this so powerful is that it turns fashion into necessity. Consumers don't just want these trends, they feel they require them to navigate the times, to craft an image that shields, empowers, and elevates. Fall 2025 is more than a season of clothing, it's a season of self-definition. That's why these anticipated trends feel irresistible. They're not just about what to wear, they're about who to become. And that's the promise of this season. Fashion not as an accessory to your life, but as the blueprint for your evolution.